Hola. It's about 6 in the morning here in Vermont. I'm really excited to work with you guys on this project, Del Corazon, Voices from the Rio Grande Valley. About a year ago, or a little more than a year ago, Senor Garces gave me that book that you guys had produced called Emotions in Black and White. And I've been reading those poems around the country. And when I speak different places, I'll just pick one poem and I'll just read it. And it's amazing what happens. The room gets totally silent, and there's this kind of gasp, and then I say, oh, that was written by a teenager or whatever, and they don't people don't believe me, or they think that it's not, that somehow the poem is like too good or whatever, and it just got me thinking that wouldn't it be great to have a book of poetry in digital format that had the video of kids performing the poem to make it even more powerful, and then doing it in two languages so that people understand something that people don't get everywhere, which is that both languages are beautiful and one informs the other, and it's not a, oh, you have to abandon Spanish and just speak English, but that they both have great power, and it's important that kids have their mother tongue in their hearts to learn other languages or whatever, and so that would enforce that, and also to have video where you just sort of made a really cool YouTube video of your poem that we'd put with it too. That would sort of be another way of taking that poem, and maybe kids don't like to write poetry yet, but then they think, hey, wait a minute, I could write a poem and then I could turn it into a video. So kids will read this book and they'll go, oh, wow, I want to do a poem like that, or I want to do that. So it'll create that sort of excitement. And the other part would just be interviews with you guys about the poem, where it came from, and just your thoughts about poetry or whatever that would sort of also inspire kids. The dropout rate in this country is just astronomical. Like 40% of kids drop out of high school, and my theory is that literally every 9 seconds, if you count to nine, somebody's dropped out of high school. My theory is if kids knew that they could write poetry, if they knew they had this sort of heart of something to say in the world, that it would actually transform that. And teachers would look at this and go, wait a minute, I have to be teaching this. And in the country, no matter what else I teach, this is more as important or more important. Uh, Del Corazon, pardon my accent, the heart of teaching is poetry. And so I see this book as sort of a bookumentary, part movie, part book, part, I don't even know what it is, but it could be something totally, you guys can imagine another element of this as well. I see this as a collaborative project. My company's going to put up the money to actually do it and get it all together, and whatever it takes to get it out there. And but the profits will be shared with you guys in a book contract, and I think Senor Garces will talk more about that when we meet. So I'm excited to see you guys on November 6th. I'm going to have a day to spend at FAR, and we can talk more about the particulars and maybe have a meeting. But between now and then, if you guys would just think about, imagine a book on an iPad, or something like that form. There also will be a print form of the book too, which we'll talk about at that meeting. But a book on an iPad, and what it could do, what you would want it to do, that would inspire students your age, or even younger, perhaps, to want to write poetry, to want to read and perform poetry, to want to make videos and any other kind of art form about their poetry. Just think about that a little bit, and when we come to the meeting, we can talk more about it. Really excited about this project. It's the one thing that's kind of gotten me excited this last year to think about, and so anything you can think of to go along with it, that would be great. It's writing time. I think I'm gonna have my cup of coffee. The sun is just coming up. And as soon as that sun comes up, it tells me you haven't really written anything today, have you? So I'm going to be doing a little bit of writing right now, and I look forward to seeing you guys on November 6th. And until then, hasta luego.